everyone, and welcome to Titan Talks, an event by Titan Capital where we talk to exceptional founders who are creating a better world through their innovation. Throughout this podcast, you'll learn from creators and thought leaders who are bringing disruption to the Indian and global startup ecosystem. We hope this event will help you learn about how to innovate, scale, and build a sustainable business.
Hello, everyone. So, welcoming all of you to Titan Talks episode 7 this evening, where we will be talking about very interesting topic our team has finalized after a lot of brainstorming. And this time we are doing Titan Talks after a break of 3 months because we have worked really well on the agenda and the theme, which is more about a very good homogeneous mixture, I will say, of community, commerce, and content economy. It's not about just content economy we will be talking about. We will be speaking more about community also and how it helps in building new kind of commerce we are seeing, which we will be going through the journey of our speakers here. And I would like to welcome 7 speakers here who are founders of their companies, and all of them are part of Titan portfolio, and their businesses are related to the theme we have selected for this evening session. So would like to welcome Abhishek Kejriwal from Kutumb, Anirudh from Pepper, Ishan from Wobb, Pallavi from SuperBottoms, Saurav from Tamasha.live, Swapnil from Rigi Club, and Vimal from Qoohoo. So as always, this is 7th episode of our Titan Talks. In previous episodes, we have done similar kind of flow of event. Generally, we get questions from our audience in advance, and also our team prepare their own set of questions, and then we merge both of them, and then we come up with some 13-14 broad questionnaires, and then we map it with relevant speakers on the panel to speak about and add their own input from their first-hand experience by running their own company, and then we revolve around those questions, and then we keep jumping into different kind of debate which gets created between panelists. So first one is more about how do we feel that creators are becoming new king, queen, prince or princess of online commerce latest iteration, the new avatar of online commerce businesses we are seeing, and what is the relevance of creators in that. So to answer this, I would like to welcome Ishan from Wobb and Pallavi from SuperBottoms. Maybe we start with Pallavi because in her business, influencers, creators, they are there on their own on their Instagram channel. They publicize product, and then they create leads and obviously commerce for the business. We start with Pallavi, and then we go to Ishan from Wobb.
Thanks, Bipin. So, Bipin, thank you for bringing this topic up, because I think it is a topic which is very, very close to my heart. Because when we started SuperBottoms, we were not just launching a new brand, but we were launching a new category. And for us, we were fighting some of the biggies and giants. And for us, it was very, very hard, of course, to reach out and fight with the PNGs of the world, right? So creator economy, as you know, it's a very fancy word now, but for us at that time, it was basically some way to reach out to our customer directly without depending on the big media houses and big publishers. So what is this creator economy? What it has done is it has, of course, decentralized the power. It has put the power out of the media houses, a few publishers, and it has given it to everybody. It has literally democratized the entire process. So right from the smallest, the mother sitting in a small town in India, if she likes our product, she could talk to other parents of ours, right? And that community got built very beautifully, and every customer of ours became the creator, and they became the king. So what happened was, one, we could use them, and literally anybody in this entire ecosystem could become a creator, because now the publishers were not the king, the creators were the king, right? Second thing was, add to it the fact that the attention span of people has also reduced. If your content is not good, people can switch channels has also made the creator of the content the king. So I think a lot of this put together, I think creators have become absolute kings in this today's world, because the brands can use them right from grabbing attention to engaging to also selling. So that's how I see it.
Thank you, Pallavi. Next, we can move to Ishan to add his inputs on his learnings. And also, maybe, Ishan, you give a 1-line or 2-line brief about your business before you answer the question.
Thanks for the introduction, Bipin. Just for everyone who's present here, I'm founder of Wobb. Wobb is an influencer marketing platform. Largely, what we're trying to do is basically helping you come online, create, if you have any influencer requirements, come online, put that in a very simple form. And by the end of next day, you will have all the influencers that you need right on the platform who've applied for your campaigns. So you can hire them, work with them. I've made the whole process of hiring and working with influencers really, really easily. Today at Wobb, a lot of our brands are doing 5,000 influencers a month sort of campaign. So we're basically trying and taking what took a lot of time with agencies, 50 people, 60 influencers, 70 influencers, to now kind of scaling that up where you can do 5,000 influencers every month without really having to, spend a lot of time and effort. This we do through technology, and this is largely what we do at Wobb. Now on the topic, which is, how increasingly we see creators are becoming the center of attraction for commerce. We'll have to look at historically what has happened. A couple of things, according to us, we've seen happened. One is a lot of increasing number of people have started transacting online digitally. There's a lot of people who now have access to smartphones and internet because data has become cheaper. What this did is online purchase started happen more. Brick and mortar maybe went down, maybe stayed at the same level. Digital happened a lot more. In digital, content-led marketing or content-led commerce did really, really well for a lot of brands. What is content-led commerce? As consumers became increasingly aware about buying online, they started looking at video content, they started looking at reviews, they started reading blogs, and that basically made their buying decisions. So buying decisions are fundamentally driven by content. Now, when you look at influencer is nothing but two elements. They are content creators, so content is built in with them. And like Pallavi mentioned, due to decentralization, all of them have their own distribution networks also. And in most cases, these distribution networks are relevant distribution networks. I'm a content creator, I'm talking about tea. Then I can talk about anything related to tea and it will be relevant for people who are following me. I'm a content creator talking about fitness. Then fitness brands can come and talk to me. I can talk about their products. Therefore, content creators are largely content plus distribution. Now, if all is going well, where do we see this industry going forward? Do we see people shifting from using creators as influencer marketing to using creators as purely commerce driven model? I think that is not going to happen very, very soon, according to us. And there are reasons for that. Number one, the price that they charge per post today, creators, versus if they were given purely affiliate commission for making sale and then getting commissions out of that, the price per post is significantly higher. There's a huge arbitrage there. I would make more money if I was giving a fixed payout versus if I was given a percentage commission on selling your products, right? So that's one reason. Why this is happening, why there is a lower number of sales translating every post that goes out. There are a few reasons for this. Trust question is one of them. I'm promoting one post as an influencer. I'm promoting another competitor the next day, right? This leads to end user not trusting your purchase recommendation so much, right? You're still good at good. You still add a lot of value as an influencer on content, but in terms of trust, it's not significantly high that I can make the purchase decision then and there itself. Maybe I need some more push from the brand through other means, and then I will go ahead and purchase. So it is going to go to there. It's not still there. I think there may be certain changes that will still be required. One of the things that we think will happen is earlier influencers were used as one-off influencer marketing. We'll see a lot of brands going and doing large long-term partnerships, right? Instead of doing one post, they will either do 12-month collaboration with 4 posts each with only influencers who truly like the product and truly represent the brand itself, right? Maybe trust question will come in from there. And as and when that happens, we will start seeing creators will become more and more in the center of attraction of the entire commerce model. And truly then will we have a creator-led commerce model exist. Again, a thin line here is, I mean, looking at and working with a lot of brands, I still do not believe creators will only be able to drive commerce for everyone. There will still be other elements that brands need to do, 3 or 4 other things that will help make brand become a brand. If it was so easy to build a brand, every creator would have their own brands. If brands could purely be built on creators pack, it would have happened. So there is no denying the importance of creators, because content is really driving a lot of purchase today, and creators come in with an additional value of distribution. But still far off from the place today where we can say only creators can drive commerce purely on their backs. So I think that's largely what our take is as far as creator-led commerce is concerned.
Got it. Very helpful and very detailed one, in fact. So next one, I would like to request Pallavi again to emphasize more on the community piece he has created. You have created, Pallavi. I remember when we invested in 18, like you were showing us the Facebook group, which usme I remember there were some 1100, 1200 moms discussing the parenting challenges and your business of reusable diapers. So all the diaper discussion and how they were looking for product which is very soft to babies. And I was completely amazed seeing those real-time discussions on that Facebook group. And you used to yourself curate, and whatever request you were getting for getting added to that Facebook group, you used to curate and accept to maintain the quality of that community. So how has been that journey? And now I remember a year back, it was 10,000 plus. I don't know what is the exact count now. So would you like to speak 3-4 minutes on that?
Sure, Bipin. So, Bipin, firstly, yes, we started when we spoke first time. I think it was 2,000 people. Today, it is almost 66,000 parents, and they talk about everything, right from diapering to food to parenting to how even finding jobs after maternity break. So, I think the creator content creation that we do in that community is very, very different and very, very authentic, and I would say at a pretty micro level. So yes, we do use influencers in the sense that Ishan was mentioning about, wherein there are big influencers who do talk about the brand and product. But what has and also Ishan also mentioned about they endorsing 2-3 products and the erosion of trust that happens. But when it comes to the community where your existing customer is talking to your potential customer in a very authentic and a very micro way, I think that is a different level of trust building that happens, and it is not incentivized at all. It comes from a pure love for the brand and carries that extraordinary trust that only a non-influencer, so to say, can carry, because I think that has become a key thing here. So what has happened is, Bipin, when we started the community, it was around diapering, but then slowly people started to ask more questions. So a mother used to start talking about diapering, but then she used to feel so connected with the other parents in that community that she used to say, hey, listen, this is off topic, but can I also ask about nutrition over here? And then, suddenly we started to realize that this content was not just about our brand anymore. This community was not just about SuperBottoms anymore. It had gone far beyond. And that community became a go-to place for a lot of parents to come and ask for authentic advice. Now, the challenge here was to maintain that trust and maintain that connect. So what we as a brand did, we just made sure that parents spoke to each other, and we as a brand were on the sidelines monitoring the content and ensuring that there was no covert promotion by us or by our own ambassadors, sometimes by other brands or anybody. The key thing and the key challenge for us was to maintain that really, really strong trust that the parents had on our community and the advice that they were getting from there, or the endorsement of even products and brands, other brands. So a lot of times they come there and saying stroller kaun sa lu batao, and then of course there are brands who try to endorse their products there, and we had to make sure that, so we made a platform where people spoke to each other as a brand. All we did was just maintain the sanctity of the platform. No incorrect advice was given, no medicines were recommended, etc., etc. No unnecessary endorsements were happening, and maintaining that entire platform, the beauty of the platform. And I think that has been, I think I would say it has been a lot of hard work, Bipin, because managing a community of 66,000 people talking to each other has been crazy. But I think that has been our biggest USP, and we continue to build on that.
I can completely understand and the kind of value this community has added in you building the business. It is two-way, I think. Like we have a small syndicate on AngelList. We get a lot of invitations from different LPs, trying to invest with Titan. Like I personally curate all the requests we get, and that is very less. Even उनको भी curate करने में इतना time लग जाता है. And I know since beginning you have been getting so many requests, and you have yourself and your small team has kept curating and build that high quality community. So next we will move to Kutumb, Abhishek Kejriwal, and Abhishek and I go really back, to college. We had done one internship together at Motilal Oswal winter internship. That was, I think, 2009 winters. 2008. And we are friends since those IIT Bombay days. I would like to mention I am 1 year senior to Abhishek, so he is my 1 year junior. So he is a little bit scared of me, and but that is not the real case. So Abhishek has built Kutumb, and it is pure community play and no commerce, no revenue, no commerce, nothing. And he is just trying to unlock the huge deep engagement among different communities in different parts of our country. So the question our team has prepared for Abhishek, how has been his experience building product that really goes beyond the language barrier and focuses completely on the local audience engagement? And I would request Abhishek you to go really deeper in this, because this is completely different kind of business you are building.
That's true. Thanks for a nice intro, Bipin. That was quite different. So, as Pallavi pointed out, community is beyond a single person, and it's insanely difficult to keep a sanctity of a community without being biased. And at this point of time, we are hosting about 15,000 communities and about 30 million members among these communities. So managing such huge scale is a very high hill of a task. And that's why the whole idea behind Kutumb is to build tools to enable community managers to manage their community with sanity. Let's come to the language question. I think that's an important question. So there are both pros and cons for building beyond a language. We currently have about 12 languages on the platform. The pros is when we go into the local languages, if they like the product, they would share it widely. They would violently share that product. They would not hesitate in not communicating the product to someone else that boss ye try karke dekho. And if they don't like it, they would uninstall on day zero. So it's the feedback time to know whether your product has a value prop or not is really small, and hence you can do very fast iterations on the product. What worked for us while doing different languages was we used to do about maybe 100 different calls every day, be it admins, be it moderators, be it committee members, be it normal members, etc. And just wanted to identify this core reason. Why are you attached to this community? And what are your suggestions behind improving this community? So across, let's say, 100 communities, we used to find 5-6 users every day and used to call them regularly. And it was so varied. For example, there's a community which is running just on content. There is another community which is running just on discussions. There's a third community which is running just on information, like admin is just putting information there. There is some community which is running on buy and sell. That's the poultry community that we have. And obviously, we realize that if we have to create a horizontal play here, we will have to enable each of these modules inside the platform. So the product building part required time because we had to cater to different geographies, different categories, and different use cases. So product building part required time, but as soon as we built a feature, the feedback was instant because these people generally would react instantly. So this helped us building beyond languages and beyond geographies. Second point that I wanted to point out was generally people are very subtle, especially product managers are very subtle while building for tier 1 India because you need not write the name on icons and people would recognize them. For these guys, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 Indians, we have to be as much loud as possible because it's difficult to make them realize via design. And hence we have a small real estate and we have to occupy that real estate in an efficient manner so that they are able to recognize this. If we do 100 user calls, like 50 user calls, they would say, chamka hi nahi kya hai. And that has been with every product manager that we have hired, that he built something and then he go back and call users and they're like, kya tha, mujhe pata nahi chala, maine to aise hi click kar. And so this is one of the feedback that we got, that if we have to expand across languages and across geographies, we have to be loud with our product rather than being subtle. I think these are two main points that if we keep in, or three main points: calling users, building different modules, and being loud. I think these are three main points. If we keep in mind, we will be able to cater to different languages.
Got it. Yeah, this is very helpful. Yeah, thanks, Abhishek. So next one, it's a bit broader question. So how should creators go about selecting platforms to monetize their content? And this question we have mapped with 4 of our founders. We will start with Anirudh from Pepper, and then we go to Swapnil from Rigi, and then Vimal from Qoohoo, and then Ishan from Wobb. We start with Anirudh. So I will repeat the question. How should creators go about selecting platform to monetize their content? Maybe, Anirudh, you don't only cover from Pepper content point of view, but in general, you should cover this answer broadly.
Yeah, I think someone had to unmute me because I was not the co-host. Awesome. Thanks, Bipin, for having me here again. Really appreciate it. And I think I'll just start with a quick introduction about Pepper and then jump in to answer Bipin's question. So at Pepper, what we're trying to do is build the world's largest content marketing platform at scale. Content marketing is growing like crazy. Every company today is a content company. And at Pepper, what we're trying to do is connect high quality freelancers with businesses and enable companies to get great content created through this talent marketplace. And in the entire process, we also enable our freelancers with access to tools and technologies that augment their abilities to get and create content 10 times more faster and in a more productive manner. And at the same time, are also able to build a lot of L&D systems for these creators to also get better on the job as they go about working with a lot of these brands and customers. So my experience comes from having seen some 100,000 freelancers apply to Pepper, and we have a very different definition of what a creator really is in the ecosystem. A lot of people, the moment they hear creators, they think influencers or people who are out there on Instagram or on a lot of other social platforms. But a very interesting demographic for Pepper creators these are people who necessarily might not be out there, but at the same time are in a sense solopreneurs, which are building or running their own businesses and trying to earn freelance incomes and primarily depend on opportunities that platforms like Pepper, Fiverr or Upwork might give, or might also get opportunities directly from individual brands and customers in a seamless manner. And what we've seen is these are people who are not running after followers or attention and multiple other things. These are people who are literally, for them, it's earning a livelihood. So we've seen average creative people earn a salary of about 25 to 30,000 a month. And the reason also when we started Pepper, our perspective was that most creators on other platforms today, the biggest struggle for them is finding meaningful quality work where they're paid on time. And most of the creators, especially on platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, had to price themselves ridiculously low and bid for projects. And 35-40% of the time was the only time they were creating content, which was actually their core expertise and core skill set. And that's where Pepper came into picture and said, we'll match these opportunities with the most relevant freelancers, and they can just choose to accept, reject these opportunities and enable this creator ecosystem with access to tools. And that's what the creator found really meaningful. And a very interesting insight was, we were looking at a lot of our NPS surveys, and payments on time was probably one of the biggest levers for a creator to trust what platform to go to or not. Right. So if you look at a lot of community platforms or Facebook groups, like the most exciting thing about India, right, is everything is always at volume. So the first time we discovered freelancers, there were about 50 to 60 groups which had 80 to 100,000 freelancers or writers inside them. And the most interesting thing was the moment you put an opportunity saying, I have 300 articles to get done, and you put across an email ID on the Facebook group. And this is 2017 we're talking about, where Facebook groups were very relevant and cool. Immediately, despite whoever's putting across, 300-400 mail inbox mein aa jate the. And we had to go through a lot of resumes and multiple things. And that was a very interesting insight from a freelancer lens, that what these creators were really looking for was meaningful work and someone who would give them, payments on time. And probably that was the biggest value proposition for Pepper to build in our function as well, in our roadmap for freelancers as well, which was we need to enable this transparency with them very strongly. So I think, Bipin, just to answer your question, I think credibility of the platform is, especially for a creator that Pepper identifies, which is a freelance creator in this, or a gig creator in this play, is their comfort on payment, because that is a sign of trust for the creator. And at the same time, their ability to find good, meaningful quality work. And if these two things are there, I think the platform has 100% chance to succeed in this market.
So before our other speakers jump onto this question, I would like to ask you more follow-on questions, Anirudh, so that other speakers also bundle up their answers with more questions. So how do you take care of all these invoicing challenges because of taxes, etc.? So this question comes from one of our audience. I don't have name of that person. I would like to call. Maybe Abhishek from team can put on chat. So the question is very clear. What is the current revenue ladder for creators, and what kind of invoicing problems they are facing, and how Pepper Content is solving that?
Yeah. So it's not really invoicing problem. It's basically payment visibility that people need. So I think one of the key part of our product features that we just recently launched is we have this payment tracker, which is a dashboard where a creator can see very clearly for whatever assignments they do with us on a monthly basis, what are assignments that are approved from the customer, that are pending for payment. And we have that very clearly segmented out. And we have very clear structures with our creators that they get paid on every approved content piece. And even if, say, for example, a customer rejects a content piece which is not rejected on which is rejected on the wrong grounds, where the customer's probably done a mistake, Pepper as a platform will still pay the freelancer. So the meaningful value addition or contribution that we bring to the platform or to the creator here is, if you're doing right, we will do right with you. And at the same time, we will give you that entire visibility for you to track what payouts are going to come, when is it going to hit your bank account. We have a lot of seamless solutions. In fact, we've integrated with Razorpay as well here, where at the moment a creator gets onboard on Pepper, there's a Pennywise solution which deposits some money in their bank account, which gives them instant credibility. Grow also does this with the user to just establish credibility कि हाँ पैसा बैंक में आ सकता है. from like this entity, then that's a very high trust credibility point for them. So we've enabled things like this. We have very clear payment cycles. In fact, there used to be a time where probably 6 to 12 months, 6 to 8 months before, where because we didn't have this visibility and this tracker, every payment cycle, and right now our payment cycles on a monthly basis are in multi-crore spends to thousands of creators. And because we are dealing with such huge volume and such and tracking is a nightmare if you're doing it off platform for us. We used to get 700 to 800 queries, and queries could be very small as ki e-assignment ka kya hua, uska kya hua, and so on. Because of this visibility and this systemized structure, even though the creator volume has 3x'd, we have been able to reduce those queries to as less as 8 queries in a payment cycle that involved about 5 to 6 crores of processing. Right. And all of that has happened because of that enhanced visibility they get from the system. So I think we've used a very product first approach to drive this alignment with the creator really well.
Very, very helpful. In fact, those are the new kind of problems which our businesses in this domain need to solve for our creators, which already platforms are solving. So we will move to Vimal, founder of Qoohoo, to cater to this question, which I will repeat again for him. So how should creators go about selecting platforms to monetize? And also, what are the invoicing, maybe even all those kind of problems they faced on your platform, and how you solved it at product level, at a scale?
Yeah. Thank you, Bipin, for the question. And hello, everyone. It's so nice to see all of you. So regarding this question, Anirudh answered very nicely from the gig workers' point of view, that it is more about from where they are getting the valuable work, credible work, so that they can get the payment out of it, that too of the real value. So that is one way to look at the creator side. Where I am looking at Qoohoo, we are creating a platform. We have built a platform where anyone who want to share their differentiated knowledge in the field of art, skill, experience, or courses, they can quickly form their fast community and start monetizing in a very flexible manner. So I would like to answer this question, that how a creator who wants to grow, how would they select a specific platform? So now there are 2-3 categories of creator which we have identified at Qoohoo. One is the top mentor, like in the top 2 or 3% who have identified their structure. They have formed their curriculum and they want to conduct the live courses, live classes. There are multiple platforms solving for those use cases. Now the creator chooses whether they want a fixed income or a revenue sharing income out of it, or they want to go full stack. They want their own whitelisted solution and where they want to bring their own users, and they want to solve for the scale at that specific platform. So that is one way how a creator is choosing if they are falling in this section. Where we are building our platform, it is the middle layer, where I would say middle 25 to 30% of the creators are lying. They are the creators not just specific to any category or any geography. This behavior is common, where most of these folks, they are building their services, microservices, discussion channels, courses, cohorts over WhatsApp, Telegram, Slack, and Discord. So these are the creators who want to solve for, say, monetization very quickly, their content protection, and different kind of tools of community management, like Abhishek pointed out very briefly in the beginning of the session. So it's a mixture of where they can specifically build their community in a very fast and flexible manner, what kind of different monetization tools are available on that platform, and what are the different tools of, I would say, managing not just the community, but the content part as well. So these are the two sections of creator from the platform point of view, where I would say, let's say I'm a great creator in the field of yoga. I know that I have 10,000 following on YouTube. Now people want to subscribe to my community and my courses. Where can I get these two options without being interdependent of each other? I just want to run courses separately, community at the other place. Is there any platform which can solve for those two specific use cases? So these are the different points which the creators are thinking. Again, there is a huge category of creator where Ishan Ishan platform is coming into picture, which is falling into the influencers category. I am mostly talking about the knowledge-based creator who are directly monetizing their community. So the interesting part, like Pallavi also pointed out, that creators are becoming so important for different sections of commerce, content and engagement, that there are different persona of creator, I would say, that are coming into picture. That is why we are seeing this rise of creator economy, that suddenly these are not the creator who will not exist without the offline behavior. They are internet age creator. They are like all the social media are their word stage, and they want to quickly monetize their skill following their differentiating knowledge. So choice of platform is kind of depending on these different metrics, whether I want to get the relevant work where Pepper content is coming into picture. I am a great influencer. I want different marketing initiatives where Wobb is coming into picture, or platform like there are different cohort-based courses platform in the ecosystem as well. Or I want to create communities very fast and quickly monetize that my differentiating knowledge. So I think that's a very interesting play at creator economy, and we have this varied founders here answering this question. Regarding the invoicing part, we have faced this problem of taxation from multiple creators. So we are solving them by showing them very specifically that what is the platform cut, what is the GST cut? Are you going to be eligible for the GST cut from the government side as well? If your revenue is kind of scaling more than 20 lakhs a year, we are going to launch this automatic KYC feature as well. And like Pepper, like Anirudh mentioned, that this feature that they are, as soon as they are registering for the bank, they are getting 1 rupee or 10 rupees credited to their bank account is very important thing that we have also implemented, that quickly generate trust among the creator. So trust is definitely the first thing for creator as well as user to come on that platform, and how that behavior can be frictionless for both users and creator. That's where the product features, product play comes into picture, and probably all of us are trying to solve that behavior. And yeah, that's pretty much about from my side with it.
Thanks, Vimal. I would like to add one more question, which is more relevant to you and Swapnil from Rigi. So maybe you answer this now. So what is your view on building platform or tool, and what all things founders need to keep in mind in building platforms for creators? Obviously, it's a very conflicting question. I am asking you to share your gyan to increase your competition, but still your learnings for many aspiring fellow budding entrepreneurs here in our audience, and who are trying to build something in the domain. So what all things you learned, maybe key 1 or 2 things?
Yeah. So just to add one very simple point, which we have kept in focus, is that at least for our section of creator, WhatsApp has been the key product. So how we can build Qoohoo in a manner which is language agnostic, so that a creator coming from Hindi belt, coming from Tamil Nadu belt, can able to identify those icons or that creation process, even if they don't know the language appropriately, because we are in the very early stage of our startup. So we don't have that scale where we can support multiple languages as well. We will do that down the line. So the focus on language agnostic UI UX, number one, and the simplicity and speed, that has been very important, while building for Bharat, because all of those folks, they already are using WhatsApp, and all the features of WhatsApp, however complex they might seem on the backend side, they are very simple to the user, so that people from like us to a shopkeeper to everyone are using WhatsApp in a very simple manner. So simplicity of the product, the speed of the performance of the product, it has been the key focus at Qoohoo that we are trying to implement. Obviously, there can be multiple aspects, which Abhishek also pointed out in terms of language, how they built to cross the language barrier, and the feedback loop mechanism that comes at picture at scale, definitely. But right now, our focus has been on speed and simplicity of the product.
Very helpful, Vimal. Now we move to Swapnil from Rigi Club. So Swapnil, all the things we are discussing. Maybe you pick as per your convenience. 2-3 parts of this question.
Yeah.
So, looking for your input.
Okay. So hi everyone, I'm Swapnil, co-founder and CEO of Rigi. We are trying to create a platform again for influencers to create, manage and monetize their community. So our introduction to this creator economy has been very different from others on the panel, right? So from 2016, we used to run a real money fantasy gaming company called Hala Play. And we used to see a lot of transaction happening between these creators and their users. And these transactions were mostly manual in nature. So they have some groups over WhatsApp, Telegram, Slack, or whatever, right? And then you pay them, then they add you to an exclusive group over these communities, right? And then they charge you some money to give access to whatever content they have, right? So suppose if I'm a fantasy player, I'm a very good player at Dream 11, right? You pay me 1,000 rupees and you're playing with 10,000 rupees. You go and earn 1 lakh rupees out of that 1,000 rupees, which you are paying to me, right? So introduction was very different. It was always transactional. And the idea was we create a platform where a lot of transaction is the goal, right? The introduction between a user and an influencer is mostly transactional. That's the nature with जो हम लोग जा रहे हैं इसके पीछे. Now the idea is ये influencers are currently on platforms like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Right? If you look by design, these platforms are not made for creators. Basically, they are made for Facebook to make money out of you, right? Even if you are getting YouTube 1 million users, you will hardly get anything, right? YouTube generally charges 30% of the commission which is there, right? And the pay-per-view content, so whatever ad revenues there is very less. So the idea from start is that we create a platform which is a creator-first platform. A creator knows exactly what he's doing on the platform, what are the money he's making, and how he's able to grow his community. The idea is the upside is very big, I would say, in this, because if you're creating a platform, then you're directly competing against some of the biggest platforms in the world, right? Against Facebook, Twitter, etc. And we think we have taken a right approach by going after the creators, jahan pe already a lot of monetization is happening. Like, so suppose you are from a fantasy industry, betting mein aap ho, stock mein ho, ya fir any monetization skill, right? You have a skill which you want to monetize if you want to get into that. So that is the way which we are doing right now. And we'll be happy, like everyone has said exactly how creator economy is going to work, right? So if you have any other question, I'm happy to answer that.
Yeah, this is again very helpful. Next, we move to Saurabh, who has merged quiz, game, and influencers, and seeing very heavy PMF. But again, all the businesses here and founders here are creating unique businesses, because this kind of theme was not that in trend 3 years back, primarily due to internet access and freelancing and COVID, work from home, etc. So sort of the question is how you see gaming being the next chapter for the creator economy, and what is the future of creator-led game monetization?
Great. Thanks, Bipin, for the introduction. So let me just quickly give you an introduction about Tamasha, what we are building, and then answer to the question. So Tamasha it's a community gaming platform. It's a platform where people can build their like-minded gaming communities. They can enjoy games in groups, and the people who are running these communities, they can monetize through real money contest. Right. So if I have a community around, a game, people can host these, tournaments and contests in their community, and they get a small commission out of the money which people pool in to play in these real money contests. Right. So that's how the platform works. So far, we have got like 4-5 games on a platform where, these creators have created multiple communities, and they can interact in live audios. They can, engage these communities, through different ways, socially, and then, monetize these communities. Right. So that's about Tamasha. We started very differently, and how we evolved, learning the tier 2, tier 3, user base has been quite interesting. So when we started as a live video based quizzing platform, right? Where we wanted that how can we democratized game show creation, and rather than just Amitabh Bachchan hosting a quiz contest on TV show, how can anyone from a small town can become Amitabh Bachchan of his own town and also monetize it, right? But over the time we learned a lot about the user behavior. The first thing that we understood that people in tier 2, tier 3 town are very conscious about the internet that they consume, right? And when we shifted from a video platform to audio platform, we saw like a huge, engagement on the platform, because a lot of these tier 2, tier 3 influencers, they are still evolving as a creator, right? They don't have all kind of resources, to come out on live video, to engage with the people. They don't have that kind of internet connectivity, right? So we turn into audio first platform where people can interact on a live audio or chats, and they can create contest and in these audience, right? And then the other thing we realized that people in tier 2, tier 3 don't like a lot of intellectual games. So we started bringing games that are casual, that are not very intellectual heavy, but anyone can play, right? So we started bringing a lot of, other game formats. Right now, we are opening up this ecosystem for other developers also to basically create their games over our social ecosystem, right? So there are thousands of creators on our platform who have, communities of lakhs of people whom they engage and they monetize, right? So yeah, so that's pretty much about our platform. Coming up to the question that how creator economy will evolve in the gaming space. So I think gaming itself as an industry, it's quite exciting stage right now, and many people see gaming as just a way to engage, to interact. But I really feel that gaming would play a very pivotal role in creating modern form of communities, right? To give you a simple example, like whenever you talk to a 14-year-old kid, right, and ask him about what kind of communities or ideas or thoughts he believes in, he won't be able to relate with existing communities, right? Maybe his religion or caste or things like that. But these are digital natives, right? They are totally immersed in games. They build themselves in these virtual spaces and in these kind of games, right? So there they can identify themselves, right, amongst all kind of people. So definitely the kind of communities that will get created through games would be much more powerful, right? These kind of communities will actually give them some kind of a purpose, right? Which traditionally people used to find in existing social ecosystems, right? So and as these communities grows, as people spend more and more time on games, the people and the creators who are playing a role in building these communities will have new and interesting ways to monetize, right? So far creators have been monetizing from some traditional ways, like streaming their content, gaming content on the internet, or virtual gifting, tipping, or esports, right? But I think this is a beginning. So a lot of innovative monetization models will, come up over the time. And one of which is what we are doing, right? Which no one globally is doing, basically giving people access to real money contest, these creators access to real money contest and help them monetize, right? So like that, a lot of, interesting models will come up over the time, right? Web3 will play a role in that, where giving access to creators to a lot more interesting tools, and help them monetize through games, right? So in short, it's just the beginning, and for creators, gaming is not just a new chapter, but an entire book, and people can write their rules and disrupt it. So yeah.
और सौरभ, आप NFT को कैसे इंटीग्रेट करना चाह रहे हो? Because your game is more of quizzing game. Yeah. Are you trying to do something in that space also? Because
right now we are not. Right now, very, very laser focused that how we can, basically empower these communities. So right now we are a completely creator-driven platform where creator can create their clubs. They can engage the people in these clubs, through multiple games like Ludo, Tambola, quiz, and things like that. Over the time, I think the ecosystem in the social media will move towards more of a user-owned or a creator-owned platforms, right? So currently, give you a simple example. Let's say when you play PUBG game, right? The T-shirt which you buy has limited access, like it's completely owned, by the platform. They can anytime shut down and, you won't have access to it, right? The eventual social networks that will begin where people will have total control and access to these virtual assets that are there in these ecosystems. Secondly, I think the communities will also democratize in a way, right? So, in these clubs, how can we give more power to the people who are, running these clubs, who are part of these clubs, right? So let's say currently, a creator who's running, a club where a lot of players are there. he has a complete control and power of the community that he has built over the time, right? But there are a lot of other people also in that club who are adding value, right? So let's say it's not always that the person who has who has started the club has been building the community. There are a lot of other people as well, right, in that community who are contributing in building that community, but they don't get the power. Like current kind of community ecosystems, the entire power remains with the community owner, right, who starts that. So I think with these kind of like the DAOs and NFTs will actually give more power to the people and democratize the power distribution in those communities, right? So that is something which I think we'll explore later on. But right now, yeah, we are the biggest challenge that we are solving is around these social structures.
Saurabh is so excited about his PMF and the traction he is getting. Any question I am asking, he is going ultra deep into that. Cool. Okay, thank you, Saurabh. So we have now only 5 minutes left. We had more questions, but respecting busy time of all our founders on our panel and audience, so we should stick to time, which is just 1 hour. And so the one question which is very popular now, and we have got from a lot of audience, what micro VCs like us see in a team or a business in creator economy, this theme to invest. So ऐसा कोई hard and fast rule नहीं है. We generally look for team, and team should be very solid. And if you see all the panelists here, like Qoohoo or Rigi or Tamasha or Kutumb, they all are completely from diverse background from this macro theme. So हमें भी नहीं पता था कि कुछ चल सकता है. We just like those guys, to be frank, and the passion and energy in them to contribute to the passion economy and creator economy. So that led us to invest in them. So ऐसा कुछ, there is no defined criteria, but we generally look for very strong team, which is most important criteria at Titan Capital. But अब ये नहीं होना चाहिए strong team है और आकर if someone is telling कि we are doing something what already Tamasha or Rigi Club is doing, so obviously we will not invest in them because it's a conflict. But it should be something very tangible and very I will say real, or something which is needed to be solved, and there is already sort of demand there for that kind of solution. और आप एटलीस्ट हमारी इन्वेस्टमेंट टीम कनेक्ट कर पा रही है कि ये चलना चाहिए और ऐसा कुछ है नहीं, और लोग सोचते हैं कि ऐसा कुछ होना चाहिए. We should be able to connect from our real time life experience. So though that is the second thing we see, and that's it. And overall हमें तो लगता है कि ये कैटेगरी ही बहुत, it is purely, I will say, the inflection point there over last 2-3 years. And we will see a lot of PMF and real companies being built in this category overall, in this macro category, which will be, I will say, connecting the power of community, creators, and content. So all three are connected. That's why we kept the theme of this session very broad. And we are very, very always alert in meeting companies in this domain, because we really believe on this. Because if you see, there is huge janta over there in our country to create content, to play games being played by influencers on platform like Tamasha. Time hai, internet hai, log hai, paisa hai, logo ko maza aa raha hai. And then at the same time, you are making money by creating content, what paper content is doing. So obviously this overall industry will grow only in our country, and obviously globally also. So we are very optimistic and very much alert about meeting new teams and investing in more such businesses. So I think I covered all the points. So great. I think we have covered most of the questions being prepared by our team, and we got from our audience. And I would like to thank all of our speakers, and they really added their opinion and points from their first-hand experience of running their own startups, which all of them are really doing great. And we are very much blessed at Titan Capital to partner with this kind of founders who are very smart in always being alert in using new channels and new distribution network and new innovative ways to grow their businesses. And also the audience here who are very smart, and they really posted almost 50 plus questions to our team, and we were able to, I think, cater to 4 or 5 of them. So thank you again, all of you, to join us, and we will be back with Titan Talks episode 8 in. So now we plan to do this every alternate month. So next one we will be doing in August.
Thank you for attending Titan Talks. We believe that this session added value to you. If you are interested in participating in a dialogue with us about fundraising, incubations, etc., please do write to us at startups@titancapital.vc, and we would love to engage in a discussion with you.